A very good evening to you all. My name is Bart Verswijvel. I'm speaking to you from my home in Belgium. And tonight's speaker is my friend Ariana Blazic from Croatia. Actually, it's not the first time that we are in this type of event. We have organized many professional projects together, especially in the eTwin network. And I could say she's more or less my professional compagnon de route, as I would say. She will introduce herself, of course, and also about the topic of tonight. So please enjoy the webinar, Ariana, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bart. First of all, thank you for inviting me to present at this webinar. I'm really pleased to be here with you tonight. And I also am really pleased and delighted to be part of the European Schoolnet Academy and be one of the so many teachers who want to learn and implement new practices in their teaching. So let me first tell you something about myself. I am a teacher. I teach languages at a high school in Zagreb, Croatia. And as of yesterday, I'm a new eTwinning ambassador for Croatia, and I'm really proud of it, yes. And I also coordinate projects at my school. I'm a lifelong learner. And I believe that sharing is caring. So whatever I learn, I share with my colleagues, with other teachers in I present at conferences, I lead workshops and webinars as well. Thank you. So before I go on, I would like to know where you come from and what you teach. I'm really glad that there are 200 of you now. There are no places left anymore. So can you please write where you come from and what you teach in the chat box? So we have here Mariana, who is from Croatia. Then we have Eva from Slovakia, Alexandra from Italy. Now they are coming. Bart, if you can, please help me with reading all those countries that are now going in the chat box. So we have.
That's quite a challenge, I must say. They keep flowing in at high speed,
yes.
And it's difficult. Please. But I see all the European countries:
yes.
Czech Republic, Slovakia, Israel, Macedonia, Romania,
Poland. And Spain, Turkey,
UK,
Lithuania,
Portugal, Estonia,
Greece, yes, France,
Germany, Bosnia, etc.
Yeah, so it's really it's great to be here with all of you, and I've also noticed that you teach almost all the subjects that are taught in schools, so it's really great to be here with you. So let me go on with my presentation now. As I said, I teach at high school in Zagreb, in Croatia. And it looks like this. A typical classroom at my school is rather not really 21st century, but more 20th century. And we have 20 classrooms like this, that look like this at my school. Besides these 20 classrooms, we used to have a computer lab which looks like this with 15 computers. And when you know that there are 500 students there who shared 15 computers, then of course you know that that's not really a big number of computers per student. And but this didn't stop us to open the door of our classroom, of my classroom, to the world, to break down the walls of my classroom and encourage students to take part in different projects that we launched at my school. One of them is this one that I'm especially proud of. It's called Greetings from the World, and it allows my students to connect with 27 classrooms from across 6 continents. Another project that I do for my students, along with my colleagues, some of them are here at this webinar tonight, is the organization of webinars that I run for students who are about to take their school leaving exams. So we help them prepare for the exam to get better results. And I'm also very active on the e-learning platform. I have run several learning events in the Learning Lab, and 3 of them with BART. And I'm really pleased that many of the teachers who were in our events are also here tonight. So all these activities actually brought me an invitation to attend a course in the Future Classroom Lab in Brussels, which you had a chance to see in the MOOC. And maybe some of you have been there. So if you have, can you please write yes? Or if you haven't, can you please write no in the chat box? Yes, but I know you have been there. You were there, and there are some yes answers and some negative no, a lot of no's, unfortunately. But I hope you will have a chance to see the Future Classroom Lab in person, because it is a really fantastic space that impressed me so much that I wanted to change my computer lab and to build something similar in my school as well. But you know how it is. The financial situation at school is not really very good, and there are constant budget cuts in the field of education. So I thought the only thing that can help us is magic. Magic is the only thing that can help us build the future classroom. So what do you think? I have prepared a poll for you, and Bart will now open it. We have a question with several answers.
Okay, just a moment. Here it comes.
But not this one. I can see the test poll.
Yeah. There will be a new one.
Okay.
And just a moment. Here it is.
Okay, so I would like you to take part in the poll and to tell us what you think is the most important thing, or maybe the only thing that can help you build a future classroom at your school. So is it magic? Is it luck? And then
it's going wonderful. I think.
And then our head teacher, the head teacher from my school, was really supportive, and she agreed to do it. And someone has mentioned in the chat box that school management is really important. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do it if it weren't for such a supportive head teacher. And so we agreed to do it. But you know, you have seen my classroom a few moments ago. And I just didn't want to put this state-of-the-art technology into such 20th century classroom. So I described the Future Classroom Lab from Brussels to my head teacher, and together we decided that we will write a nice letter to the City of Zagreb government and their educational bureau. And they agreed to help us furnish the classroom. they gave us some money, and so we went shopping. We wanted to buy some nice chairs, some nice desks, but unfortunately, the classroom furniture manufacturers still live in the 20th century. The classroom furniture is still the same as it was 50 or even more years ago. So, you know, it was difficult. We didn't know what to do. However, the janitor at our school is a skilled carpenter, and these desks that you can see in this photo that are blue and white, he made them himself, and then we also bought these chairs. And it lasted for 10 months. 10 months later, it was finished, and we got a flexible learning space. The desks and the chairs are light and can be moved around, so we can easily change the seating arrangement. Students can learn independently, or they can work in groups. And they can work with their peers who are physically in this classroom, or with their peers who are in some other countries or some other schools. And also, I think that this state-of-the-art technology goes very nicely with this bookshelf, old-fashioned bookshelf, and books and flowers. And it somehow gives the classroom a warm feel, I would say. So this is my future classroom, how it looks today. And you saw a moment ago how it looked a year ago. In September 2013, there was a very nice opening ceremony held in the classroom, and we were really very, very honored because we could welcome a very special guest from the European Schoolness. Bart was there as an envoy, and he opened the classroom with a very, very nice speech. And we also organized a video conference, and here in this photo you can see a teacher from South Africa who joined us, who greeted us, and there were some other teachers. I think Cristina from Portugal, I don't know if she's here right now, but she was also one of the teachers who joined us for the conference. There were some other teachers from other countries, and we also had, my colleague also had a demo lesson on how to use Samsung tablets in a math lesson. Yes, Christina is here, so thank you, Christina, for being there. And there were also the heads of the Samsung Corporation present at the opening ceremony, and they liked it too, and so they decided that our future classroom looks very nice, and they wanted to shoot an educational video about how to use Samsung in education. And they sent a crew from the United States, and they made a video about the classroom. The link is here, and I can post it in the chat box as well. And the shooting lasted for a week, and it was amazing. It was totally, you know, Hollywood-like, with all those trucks, and I had my own stylist, and well, it was totally an out of this world experience. And here on the right, you can see my colleague, who I have already mentioned. Her name is Sonia, and she is one of the teachers who started this this story about the future classroom together with me. So at the beginning, there were only two of us, Sonia and I, and then slowly we were joined by two more teachers, and then later on, when we were given these tablets, we were joined by 18 other teachers. There are 44 teachers at my school, so that is half of them who want to teach with technology, who want to change their way of teaching and implement technology. So, and these numbers actually follow the so-called S-curve, which shows the stages of technology adoption. And I would say, I would dare to call Sonia and me the innovators. The innovators are people or teachers who seek for new ideas. They experiment with new ideas, and they are driven by intrinsic motivation. Their role is to determine how to use new technology, and they want to demonstrate its potential value. After them come the early adopters. They adopt new tools, new technology after the innovators have proven the concept, and they are driven by, I would say, extrinsic motivation. They are very important because they try to find alternative ways of implementing a tool, of exploiting the innovation, and maybe test this tool or innovation to find some other uses. After them come the early majority. The early majority enters after the dominant innovation or design is established. They show less leadership, but they are still open to new ideas. And then after them, after half of the population has already started using a new technology, there comes the late majority. There are those who have been doing something else, or they were maybe too conservative, but now they've seen the advantages, so they start to adopt a new design, new technology. And the diehards are those who resist adopting the innovation, despite its advantages that are now obvious. And they, in the end, they retire, and they don't. They just disappear from the field. So I would now like to ask you about what you think, where you are on this technology adoption curve. If you consider yourself to be innovators, early adopters, or if you belong to the early majority, late majority, or diehard. So we have a new poll ready for you.
Yeah,
it's coming. Mm-hmm.
Do you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, it should be there now.
Yes, we can see it. So where are you on the technology adoption curve? Are you an innovator, or do you belong to early adopters, early majority or late majority, or diehard? Can you please click on choose one answer and click submit?
Yeah, they're coming again very, very fast. People are very disciplined, and I think we are halfway now, but it goes very fast, counting down. So only 60 now still have to vote. But the moment I tell you it's 50. And now 40.
Okay, so a minute and 30 seconds would be enough, I think.
Yes, but I'll wait until we have, let's say like last time, only 30 something that still have to vote.
I think I already know the answer. Do you too?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But you can already see the answer.
I can. But maybe the diehards don't vote at all.
Or they are not here. I'm sure they aren't.
Maybe they were the VIPs.
No.
Well, a few more seconds, and then we can have a look at the answers. Okay. We close the poll now, and then you have to wait for some seconds. That's the process. I can't help it, but it will come. 10 seconds to come. And then in a moment you will see the results. Okay.
Yes. Innovators, 55 of you. That's great. And 54 early adopters, 31 early majority, and a late majority 8. And 1 diehard here. But well, I don't know. I'm sure this person who voted for a diehard is actually not, because I don't think that he or she would be here. You know,
yeah, but maybe this European School Academy makes a difference. Once he saw this nice MOOC, then the light went on. Maybe he saw the end of the tunnel.
Okay, fine. Thank you for this. This is great. I'm really happy to see these answers. But we have another poll for our participants here. We would now like to ask the same question, but we would like now to if you can place your school on this technology adoption curve. We have already discussed the digital maturity of schools. This is also part of the ITEC project, and we talked about it in the MOOC. But let's just stick here to this Zemsky and Messis technology adoption curve, and let's try to place our schools on this curve. Where do you see your school? Is your school on? Do you see that as innovators? Those as a school that lead the way in adopting new technology, adopting innovation, or early adopters? After someone has already done something, now you do it, or maybe early majority, late majority, or diehard. That would mean that there is no innovation at your school yet, and most people actually resist to change. So I've been talking, and I hope you have been voting.
Yeah, just a moment. We still have, well, I think we have about 130 votes by now. So I would like to wait a few more seconds. It's not an easy question, of course. You have to find more or less the average of your school, and maybe people want to think about it a bit longer.
So what you think your school and all the teachers from your school, or your school in general, where it is?
Yeah. A few more seconds, because I see people still voting, and about 40 still have to vote. but they're doing it right now. But anyway, I will very soon close the poll,
Mm-hmm.
and then it needs some processing. I've closed the poll now, and then in 15 seconds or so, the results will be available.
Mm-hmm.
Another 5 to come. Okay, do you see the results?
Yes, I can see the results. So now early majority leads the way with 41 votes. And then come early adopters and then innovators. And late majority is second. So there are a lot of schools or a lot of teachers who think that there is still a lot of innovation needed in their school to implement new ways of teaching. Okay, so let me close the polls. Thank you for your votes.
I think you're the presenter now. You should be able to. Yeah.
Yes, I am. Now let me go on with the things that we have done in my classroom. Here in this picture, you can see the early adopters and the early majority from my school. Teachers who really like to teach in this learning space, and they are inspired, and they inspire and motivate students. And students behave really differently in this classroom than in other classrooms at my school, because they are somehow active in this in the learning process, and this classroom is more student-centered than the other classrooms. They have room to breathe freely and are motivated to learn. We also inspire them to be creative, and this space is built in such a way that they are inspired to be creative. You know that as children grow up, their curiosity is stifled. There are more serious concepts they need to master, and there is simply no time for being curious and creative anymore. And as a consequence, they become less motivated, less original, they become less imaginative. And this is actually nothing strange, because here in Croatia, and I suppose in other countries across the world, there is a lot of assessment that needs to be done. I live in an assessment-driven society, and my students have to take exams at the end of high school, and there is a lot of memorization, a lot of facts that they need to know for the exam, a lot of rote learning, and this is what we must do. But at least one part of their school life should be dedicated to creativity. In the MOOC, we have talked a lot about the competencies, and there was a discussion about which of the competencies is most important. And of course, they are all important, but I would say that creativity is at the core of the competencies, because if we teach them or allow them to be creative, they will develop their other competences. They will develop their critical thinking skills. They will develop their leadership skills, collaborative skills, and all the other skills that they need for the 21st century life and career. And this is why we want our students to be creative. we want them to play, we want them to allow them to be curious and be creative, and at least for some part of their life at school, and we want to give them their crayons back. We opened this classroom in September, so it's been several months now that we are using it, and we have done a lot of creative work in it. We have encouraged our students to build something new, we never tell them how to do it, but we tell them what we expect at the end. They know the outcome, and how they will reach the outcome, it depends on them. So they have created a lot of e-books, they have created comic books, newspapers, they have also done a lot of quizzes. I think it is important because they need to pass the exams at the end. It is also important to teach them how to create their own quizzes. And the quizzes they make are also taken by other students. So it is about peer assessment. It is about the feedback that they get from other students. It is about reflection. And also we pay a lot of attention on communication and collaboration. We not only my classes, but also classes by other teachers are very active on the evening network and in different projects that are run by teachers from across the world. And this is great because they develop their 21st century skills. And just a second. So here you can see some of the projects that that my students take part in. And I would also like to say that we want to give them the floor. We want to step back and give them the floor and let them know that they can make a difference. And of course, it is very, very difficult for us teachers to hand over the control of learning to our students, but we should be brave and do it. Step back, give the floor to the students, and let them be creative. Let them do and achieve the outcomes in the way they want to learn and how they want to learn. And so my final point tonight would be that it's not about technology. Of course, it is great if you have it, but it's about the teachers. It's about how brave the teachers are and how boldly they are willing to go where no teacher has gone before. It is about being brave and about trying out things, about experimenting, about seeing the things that work and then using them with other classes and not using those tools or projects that don't work. So it's about trying it all out. And I would say that it's nice to have technology, but I must say that these past months that I've been using it, I have learned that even in the classroom that doesn't look like that, I can change my teaching practices. It doesn't have to be all the same with the students who are facing the teacher and looking at each other's back. It is just a little bit of change that we can bring to the classroom, and it will make a difference. This this brings me to the end of my webinar. Now, I didn't have a chance to go through the questions, but I hope Bart has. And if you have questions now, please feel free to ask. Of course, I don't know if you can see my email addresses here, and you can also find me on Twitter. And I'm here for you. What I teach English and German. Bart, are you there?
I muted myself and I was talking to myself. It happens more. No. I thank you, of course, Ariana, for that great story, and of course I know your story already. But I think you also should mention how do you work with your colleagues as a team to improve their teaching, and how do you set up meetings to improve the teaching, and that you help each other?
Yes, that's right. We do it often. Actually, my colleague Sonia and I, we are teacher trainers for many teachers in Croatia, and we are invited to present at conferences and lead webinars for teachers. So this is what we do for teachers from other schools, but also for our teachers. And we usually meet once a month in the future classroom, and then we teach them how to use different tools. And the teachers, very often a teacher comes to me and asks me if I can show him how to use Edmodo or eTwinning, or what to do with this tool. And then I will spend my free lesson or stay after school with this teacher on one-to-one basis and teach him how to do it. I must say that when I started with eTwinning in 2010, I was the only teacher at my school, but now there are about 5 or 6 of them who are already doing projects, you know, who are connected with other teachers. So I think this has only happened since the opening of the future classroom. So we've really seen a boost in the confidence of the teachers. We have a problem, I would say, because we only have this classroom with tablets, and of course, the more teachers want to teach in it, the more crowded it is, and we have a list on Google Docs that we use to book the room. But also, so that's one problem, and the other is that the teachers don't have their tablets. And we have been trying really hard to make it happen, that they have their own tablets and they can prepare their lesson at home. Because if you prepare your lesson on your computer and then come to school, you will see that not everything functions on a tablet. So everything needs to be checked twice at home, and this is the reason that some of these 18 teachers that signed up for this project still haven't plucked up the courage to do it. But what we do, teachers take the tablet, they borrow it from school over the weekend just to get acquainted with it. But it would be a lot easier, you know, if they had their own tablets.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, I have been looking at the questions at the chat. Well, there was one question about your nationality and mine, maybe. So maybe that person missed the beginning. That I'm Belgian and you are Croatian. And then how many rooms of this do you have?
But only one.
Yes.
We have only one. You have seen what the other rooms look like, and Bart, you have been at my school, so it's really not a modern school, except for this classroom. We don't have Wi-Fi except in this room. We can't use mobile phones or BYOD in other classroom, which is a pity. Only in this room. And I also noticed the question, who paid for the tablets? These tablets still belong to Samsung. And they, but after this year, after this school year, we will be the owner. So they, I think it works like this.
Yep.
They want to well, help schools, but of course they will know that if students use the tablets, they will want to buy their own tablets later in life. So obviously they have a reason why they do it.
Yeah. There are some more questions. I'll try to pick them up, but meanwhile I want to say that you really gave some inspiration to many people here. And just a moment, I will try to mute that person. There were so many people that really liked your talk and want to create something similar in their own environment. There was a question, how long do the lessons in the future classroom last, and with how many students and teachers do you use it?
So the lessons usually last 45 minutes, which we think is not enough. We would rather have 90 minutes in the future classroom. And I also think students would like that too, because when the bell rings, they really don't want to leave the room. They still have some things to do. So what was the next question? 45 minutes, and how many teachers?
And how many students can use the room? Yeah.
There are 30 desks and 28 tablets. So we have 29 students in one class, and all the other classes are 28.
Yes, and there is also a question about the curriculum. How restricted are you by the curriculum and by the syllabus, if you have one?
Yes, we are restricted. We have, but it doesn't mean that we have to do. That we have to follow the book, for example. So I can achieve the outcome, and especially it's easier for me in English, because if I have a topic to explore with my students, and I can decide if I can do it in the book, which was published 8 years ago and which is really outdated, or if I will use the internet sources, which are, of course, contemporary. And so this is what I can do.
Yes, I have a very interesting question from Angelo Cortesao, I don't know whether I pronounce it right, about the reaction of the parents. What did they say about the changes in the school and with the new classroom?
Oh, the parents were very, very happy, and some of them wanted to help us, you know, with, they wanted to help us to buy more tablets, but this is still an ongoing situation, so to speak. And if you watch the video that Samsung made about our school, you will see that there are two parents from our school who are starring in the video. So they see the benefits.
Mm-hmm. And another question, well, we have seen the furniture and the tablets, but what about the other technical requirements?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question by Carlos Miguel Lorenzo, like broadband and licenses.
So we have, it's not really so well equipped as the future classroom in Brussels. It is more modest, but still it's one of the most modern classrooms in Croatia. We have 28 tablets, and we have one teacher laptop, and we have one touch screen. And everything is provided by Samsung, so they give us the licenses, and after September this year, we will be the owners of these tablets. And we also have a lot of support from partners, the Croatian Academic and Research Network, and we also, they do research. They started at the beginning in October. They did a survey of all the students who were going to use the lab, and the teachers as well, those 22 teachers who are taking part in this. And then after the end of the school, they are going to do another survey and see if there are any differences and how the opinion of both teachers and students has changed. Has it changed for the better? Have they seen any improvements in their learning? So this is actually what we are doing, trying to see if technology can help them learn. So it is, very difficult to use technology not as for its own sake, but only as a means to achieve the outcome. And sometimes if I introduce something new to my students, it takes me a lot of time, and I spend too much time on technology itself. But then when they get acquainted with it, technology is invisible, and the focus is on learning, and this is what we want to achieve. And I maybe at the beginning I was using it, just like new tablets in old bottles. Like I gave them some interactive practice, and they then picked the correct answers. But it was the same as in a book. So the difference, there was no difference, So what I try to do now is to let them create their own content. And I think create is the key word. They create their own quizzes, which they use for testing their peers. They create their own books for learning, which are more up to date than the books they have, you see. And so these are the things that I and my colleagues that we have been trying to do at school.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, and this is a slow process, but we are, I think, on the right path.
Yeah. And now the questions are coming more and more. So I think we should, let's say, stop around 8. Two questions at the same time. First of all, is the classroom also used by math teachers? And the second one, how's the situation in other schools in Croatia?
My colleague, who I have already mentioned several times, Sonia, she is a math and ICT teacher, and she uses it on a regular basis, really often. We have teachers of languages who French, English, German, Latin. We also have sciences, also social studies. So these teachers come and go. It can happen that the room is fully booked all week, and then another week it isn't booked because we have tests, and we have to, do some other things. So it's not so fully booked. But every day there is someone there, and then the situation in Croatia is there is a great project going on. The project that won an award by the European institutions for the innovation in education, also organized by Carnet, and they won 100,000 euros for this project. and it was about implementing technology in schools that are located in rural and remote areas of Croatia. And up to now, there are 8 schools involved in this project. And my colleague Sonia and I, we are tech consultants. We give webinars for these teachers. So it's not only that they are given technology and then, told to do whatever you want with it, but they are given constant educational and constant or pedagogical education classes. Yes. So, and this is what counts. And also, Carnet is now they have applied for the project called eSchools, and they are planning to have by 2020 they would like to see every school student and every school teacher to have their own laptop or tablet, it doesn't matter, and Wi-Fi in all the schools. So we will see what happens. We have a lot to go until 2020, but for now, well, we have a lot of dreams and plans, and I think this is what keeps us going. I know there are a lot of Croatian teachers here, and not all of them have such nice classrooms, but hopefully this will change in the future.
Yes, well, it's about time to end this webinar. There was one question also about the difference between primary and secondary, since you are a secondary school with rotating hours. What do you think? Would a future classroom lab in a primary school also be something something meaningful?
Yes, of course. The schools that I have mentioned earlier, these 8 schools, they are all primary schools. So ours is the only secondary. All the other are primary schools, and they are the teachers who work there are really very, very glad with all and they can see the benefits that the technology has brought to their schools, and how their students are learning, even though they are just 7 or 8-year-old kids. So if used in a proper way, if of course teachers are taught how to use it only as a means, then I think technology has great potential.
Okay. I was looking for some nice words to end, and I think Andrea Ulrich gave me the nice words, and she wrote, "Thank you for a magic hour." And I think it will be confirmed by everyone here in the chat. You can read for yourself. They all loved your inspiring webinar of tonight. So it will be there as it is recorded later on. People can have a look at it again, and if they want to contact you, you gave your email address, and they can contact you on social media as well. And so once again, Ariana, thank you for this contribution, and she will be around, as you will have noticed, in the course and also outside the course over the next weeks. So thank you, and have a very nice evening, and this ends the webinar.